Hello and welcome to the City of Kawartha Lakes 2016 Ward Boundary Review. The ward boundaries and the number of councillors that are elected in the City of Kawartha Lakes has not been reviewed since 2001. It is important that this matter is reviewed to ensure an effective and balanced representation exists across all wards of the city. There are three components to be reviewed and considered in this process: the ward structure or number of wards, the ward boundaries of each ward, and the size of council, meaning how many councillors should be elected in this municipality. Council adopted the terms of reference and guiding principles or criteria for the ward review. There are 4 guiding principles that were used to assess the options under consideration. The first criteria undertakes to balance the populations in each ward, to balance the population represented by each councillor with a 20% population variance allowed. The second criteria is to give consideration to establish settlement patterns in existing communities of interest. This is to say that boundaries should try to keep our towns and villages together to be represented by the same councillor or group of councillors. Communities of interest includes actual population centres, but it also includes common interests such as agriculture, tourism, and commerce. The third criteria encourages the use of our natural physical features to act as boundaries. In the case of the City of Kawartha Lakes, the major physical feature used as a boundary would include the lakes and rivers. The final criteria, which is the overriding principle for any ward review, is that the municipality requires effective representation for all electors and the population at large. Council chose 3 options to put forward to the public and seek their input. The 3 options will now be described, and they are in no particular order of preference. Option number 1 proposes 4 wards. This option is built on the idea of multiple councillors per ward. It provides flexibility for the number of councillors to represent an area with 2, 3, or 4 councillors per ward. In this option, the population per ward is balanced. Option number 1 changes the ward structure, ward boundaries, and gives the option to change the size of council. Option number 2 proposes 5 wards. This option divides the municipality so the councillor per elector population ratio is balanced. 12 councillors would be elected in total, with the central and south wards to elect 3 councillors per ward, and the west, east, and north wards to elect 2 councillors per ward. This option provides an alternative with populations proportionate to one another to elect 12 councillors. Option number 2 changes the ward structure, ward boundaries, and the size of council. Option number 3 proposes 16 wards. This option adjusts existing ward boundaries to balance the population variance between the wards and retains 16 wards represented by 1 councillor per ward. Option number 3 adjusts the ward boundaries but does not adjust the ward structure or the size of council. The City of Kawartha Lakes wants your feedback on the options and your participation in this process. You can complete the online survey or email your comments to the address noted. Your participation in this review and any comments received will form part of the feedback noted in the final report. We have done outreach to cottage associations and community groups. Surveys will also be available through each municipal service center and library. The public consultation process started June 1st and will run until August the 15th. The online survey will be available until July 31st. Once the input process has concluded, the information will be analyzed and a final report will be drafted and presented to Council in October. Council will make their decision on the exercise. Once a decision is made, there is an appeal period, and if appealed, there will be an Ontario Municipal Board hearing. Any change would be effective with the next election in 2018.